Every fast food chain faces its challenges, but how did this clown recover from two failed rebrands, a meat contamination scandal and a kangaroo meat mishap? Jack in the Box has certainly found a few clever ways to turn things around. In the 1960s, Jack in the Box saw rapid growth in Southern California, expanding to 24 locations by 1961 and 182 by 1966. By the end of the decade, the chain had reached 870 outlets. At this stage, Ralston Purina, a large food corporation, acquired the parent company of Jack in the Box and set out to transform the regional chain into a national fast food competitor. This led to the opening of hundreds of new locations across the Midwest and Northeast. However, many of these new outlets struggled, failing to attract customers or turn a profit. By 1980, after opening its 1,000th restaurant, Jack in the Box had to close 225 underperforming locations in the eastern U.S. The company redirected resources into expanding its presence back on the West Coast. More than 4 decades later, Jack in the Box has largely stuck to this regional strategy. Today, nearly 43% of its locations are in California, with the rest mainly in nearby states like Oregon, Washington, Arizona, and Texas. While it still has a handful of locations in the Carolinas and a single one in New Jersey, Jack in the Box remains a relatively minor player in the eastern U.S. fast food market. In the early 1980s, following the closure of 200 locations, Jack in the Box made bold business and culinary moves. The company signaled these changes with a memorable TV ad, featuring employees using dynamite to destroy one of the iconic clown heads from the 70s, marking a dramatic shift in its brand image. A newly introduced slogan declared,
"The food is better at the box."
The food is better at the box. Waste them.
Acknowledging that it couldn't compete with McDonald's directly, Jack in the Box revamped its image, shifting away from the clown theme and focusing on attracting a more sophisticated adult audience. In the 80s, the chain introduced new items like a ham and cheese sandwich, fajita pita, and the first ever fast food to-go salad. By 1987, Jack in the Box had expanded its menu to 40 items, with half of them launched in the last 5 years, reflecting the brand's evolving approach.
You got omelets?
Yes, we do.
You got French fries and onion rings?
Yes, sir.
You got a steak sandwich?
We got it.
Jack in the Box succeeded by avoiding the direct McDonald's-Burger King rivalry and instead focused on carving out a niche in the Western U.S. This strategy paid off, with the chain opening 400 new locations in the late 1980s. In key markets like Los Angeles, San Diego, Dallas, and Phoenix, it became one of the top 2 fast food chains. In the early 80s, Jack in the Box found itself caught in an unexpected controversy involving its beef supply. The issue stemmed from imported meat, which made up about 7% of the U.S. beef market at the time. One of Jack in the Box's suppliers, an Australian company called ProFreeze, discovered in 1981 that some of its shipments labeled as ground beef actually contained horse meat. The tainted meat had been designated for distribution to Jack in the Box locations in the U.S. Further inspection in Australia revealed even more troubling news. Additional shipments meant for American fast food chains contained kangaroo meat as well. While it was unclear how much of the mislabeled meat had already reached restaurants, Secretary of Agriculture John R. Block acknowledged it was likely that some horse and kangaroo meat had already ended up in Jack in the Box burgers. In response, the U.S. Department of Agriculture intervened, seizing more than 500,000 pounds of meat, 270,000 pounds of boneless cuts, and 275,000 pounds of ground beef and patties, after confirming they were contaminated with traces of horse meat.
Hey, if Jack in the Box is really changing, how come he's still here?
The clown? By the time you finish this sandwich, he'll be gone.
In an effort to fully shed its playful image and attract a more mature customer base, Jack in the Box made a dramatic move in its rebranding journey. Its parent company at the time, Foodmaker Inc., officially changed the chain's name to Monterey Jacks. The name was selected after extensive consumer testing, outperforming roughly 200 other Jack-related options. Market research also guided a complete visual overhaul. Customers responded more favorably to a sophisticated wood and brass interior and a calming blue color scheme, replacing the chain's familiar bright red, high-gloss exteriors. While the core menu of burgers and fries remained, the new concept leaned heavily into the chain's expanded offerings, such as premium breakfast sandwiches and fresh salads. This major rebrand coincided with Ralston Purina's sale of Jack in the Box to an investment group for $500 million. Though the new owners initially supported the rebranding to Monterey Jacks, results quickly disappointed. Within a year, the decision was reversed, and the chain returned to its original recognizable identity as Jack in the Box. In January 1993, health officials in Washington state began noticing a disturbing rise in cases of hemolytic uremic syndrome, a severe condition causing diarrhea, kidney failure, and blood clots, particularly among children in Seattle. A swift investigation traced the source of the illness to hamburgers served at Jack in the Box. The culprit, a dangerous strain of E. coli bacteria. The outbreak quickly spread, with confirmed cases appearing in California, Idaho, and Nevada. Ultimately, over 700 people fell seriously ill after eating at one of 73 Jack in the Box locations. Tragically, 4 children died. The contamination was later traced to slaughterhouse-level processing failures, where meat had been tainted by animal waste. Compounding the issue, multiple local health departments had previously urged Jack in the Box to cook their hamburger patties to 155 degrees Fahrenheit, the minimum safe temperature, but the company stuck with the federal guideline of 140 degrees, arguing that higher heat affected taste. That decision proved disastrous. The fallout was swift and severe. Sales plummeted by 35%, leading to mass layoffs and a halt in all Washington state advertising. Expansion plans were put on hold, and the company sought temporary rent relief at hundreds of locations, citing financial strain. The crisis became one of the most serious food safety incidents in fast food history. During its early years, Jack in the Box featured a simple clown mascot with a round white head and painted face. But after the devastating E. coli crisis in the mid-1990s, the brand revamped its image. In a bold marketing shift launched mid-decade, the company introduced Jack Box, a quirky, suit-wearing CEO with a human body and a large, cartoonish round clown head, who became the new face of the brand.
Just try my food, apologize, and I'll go.
Beat it, clown!
Listen, punk! I've spent millions of dollars improving my kitchens to make our best burgers ever!
When ad man Dick Siddig founded Secret Weapon Marketing, Jack in the Box became his first major client after leaving the Shy ad agency. His unconventional campaign featured quirky, darkly funny commercials aimed squarely at attracting a young male audience, using humor to set the brand apart in a crowded fast food market. Siddig remarked to the LA Times, "Young men like irreverent humor." The offbeat ad campaign helped rehabilitate Jack in the Box's damaged reputation and boosted sales significantly. In 1995, the chain brought in $1 billion. Just over 10 years later, thanks in part to the quirky marketing approach, annual revenue had nearly tripled, reaching $2.9 billion.
And hey, if I'm saying something that's not true, do something about it.
In the mid-2000s, Jack in the Box aimed to appeal to fast food customers seeking a more upscale dining experience. To test the waters, its parent company launched a new concept called JBX Grill, converting existing Jack in the Box locations into this elevated format. After 2 initial test locations opened in San Diego with encouraging results, the company expanded the experiment with 5 more in Boise, Idaho, and 4 near Bakersfield, California. JBX Grill featured a more refined atmosphere, designed to resemble casual sit-down restaurants rather than typical fast food joints. Interiors boasted wood flooring, cozy fireplaces, and plush seating. The menu followed suit, offering more adventurous fare such as ciabatta sandwiches filled with carne asada, Greek-style chicken, or ham and roasted vegetables, along with globally inspired salads like Thai spice and poblano lime chicken. However, each restaurant conversion came with a hefty price tag, around $400,000 per location. By 2005, it became clear that JBX Grill wasn't delivering the financial returns needed to justify the investment. Rather than expand the concept further, the company scrapped the upscale experiment altogether and reverted the test sites back to standard Jack in the Box locations, refocusing efforts on its core brand. Jack in the Box took a bold step by directly targeting a typically overlooked group, cannabis users battling the infamous post-smoking hunger known as the munchies.
I'm looking at the sign, and it says 99 tacos for 2 cents.
Dude, it's 2 tacos for 99 cents.
That's even less.
Jack in the Box clearly understood its late-night crowd. A 2016 Foursquare analysis ranked it as the second most visited fast food chain during overnight hours, when intoxication often peaks, just behind White Castle. The brand didn't shy away from its association with the stoner demographic. In 2007, a commercial featuring a spaced-out character ordering 99 tacos sparked backlash from anti-drug advocates who believed it glamorized marijuana use. But Jack in the Box leaned into the image. In 2013, the chain launched launched its Munchie Meals, boxes loaded with over-the-top combos like burgers, tacos, fries, and other indulgent snacks. The strategy paid off. To celebrate California's 2018 legalization of recreational marijuana, the company released a special Merry Munchie Meal in select markets for $4.20, a tongue-in-cheek reference to cannabis culture. Despite the controversy, the Munchie Meal lineup struck a chord with customers and proved profitable, becoming a staple of the Jack in the Box menu across the country. In 2003, Jack in the Box branched out from burgers by acquiring Qdoba, a rising fast casual chain specializing in Mexican-style cuisine. At the time of the $45 million purchase, Qdoba operated 85 restaurants across 15 states and was pulling in $65 million in annual revenue. Under Jack in the Box's ownership, Qdoba rapidly expanded to 700 locations in 47 states, generating $830 million by 2017. Despite the explosive growth, the chain soon struggled. Customer traffic at long-established Qdoba locations dropped sharply, and by 2018, Jack in the Box decided to cut its losses. The company sold Qdoba to Apollo Global Management for $305 million, citing mounting costs, including a sharp 50% increase in avocado prices, as a key factor in the chain's declining profitability. Surprisingly, just 5 years later, Jack in the Box returned to the Mexican fast food space, this time by acquiring Del Taco. In 2021, the company spent $585 million to purchase all 600-plus Del Taco restaurants outright. Jack in the Box had long operated with most of its locations being company-owned, though it did occasionally experiment with franchising. However, in 2004, the company made a significant shift and moved towards a franchise-based model. By 2019, approximately 95% of its U.S. locations were operated by franchisees. That same year, Jack in the Box faced a leadership crisis. After a tumultuous period of financial struggles and mounting pressure from franchisees, CEO Lenny Kama resigned in December 2019. During Kama's tenure, efforts to cut corporate costs were made, but hundreds of locations reported negative earnings, with about 300 of 2,200 locations, primarily in Texas, seeing annual revenues under $1 million and an average loss of $36,000 each. Despite this challenging chapter, Jack in the Box rebounded with a 2-year development plan. In 2022, the company marked a major milestone by signing agreements with 72 new multi-unit franchisees to open 303 additional stores. As part of this expansion, Jack in the Box set its sights on new markets, including Arkansas and a return to Florida, where it had exited in the 1990s.